Welcome back. This could be the moment that changes your life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Lincoln penny coin values, from iconic designs and shocking history to hidden treasures most people overlook. In this video, we'll explore the top 3 most valuable, expensive, and ultra-rare Lincoln pennies from the United States of America, including coins from 1999, 1997, and 1982, with no mint mark surprises that have stunned collectors. These classic copper pennies, especially those with a rare red to brown color shade, are prime targets for coin hunters, even in dirty or circulated condition. What looks like an ordinary penny could be worth thousands of dollars, or even millions today. So before you spend that old coin, stick around, because you might be holding a fortune in your hands. Backhand index pointing right first up. Coin number 1. Welcome back, because what you are about to hear could completely change the way you look at the smallest coin in your pocket. Today, we are stepping into the mysterious and fascinating world of the 1999 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that looks ordinary, feels ordinary, and is spent every day by people who have no idea what they are holding. This is not just a penny, it is a piece of American history, a silent witness to the end of a century, and in very rare situations, a coin that has stunned collectors and shaken the coin market with unbelievable prices. The Lincoln penny has always been more than pocket change. Since its first appearance, it has carried the face of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity, struggle, and survival. By 1999, the United States was standing at the edge of a new millennium, and billions of pennies were struck to keep up with daily commerce. Most were used, scratched, and forgotten. But hidden among them were a few special survivors, coins that escaped the ordinary fate of circulation and became something far more powerful in the eyes of collectors. The 1999 penny with no mint mark was produced in massive numbers, which is exactly why it is so dangerous to overlook. Coins from large production years are usually ignored, but history has shown again and again that rarity is not always about low numbers. It is about condition, metal quality, strike strength, and tiny details that the average person never notices. In some rare examples, these pennies were struck with exceptional sharpness, strong detail, and rich copper surfaces that glow with deep red and warm brown tones, creating a visual beauty that collectors are willing to fight over. What makes this coin especially interesting is its copper appearance and the way time transforms it. Freshly struck pennies can shine with fiery red color, but as years pass, that red slowly deepens into reddish-brown and eventually dark brown. Collectors carefully judge these shades because color can mean the difference between a common coin and a highly desirable one. A 1999 penny that retains strong red or red-brown color, even if it looks dirty at first glance, can suddenly become extremely attractive once its true surface quality is revealed. Many people believe that a dirty coin is worthless, but in the coin world, dirt can be a disguise. Some of the most valuable pennies ever discovered were pulled from jars, drawers, and old collections where they sat untouched for decades. The dirt protected the surface from harsh cleaning and damage. When carefully examined by experts, these coins revealed strong details, clean fields, and original surfaces, qualities that serious collectors are desperate to own and willing to pay large sums for. The shocking part of the 1999 Lincoln penny story comes when collectors begin talking about errors and unusual strikes. While most pennies are normal, a tiny number left the mint with unusual characteristics, misaligned strikes, weak or missing details, or strange surface textures. These mistakes are not accidents to collectors, they are treasures. An error coin is a moment where the minting process broke its own rules, creating something that was never supposed to exist. Because pennies are so small and familiar, people rarely authenticate them properly. That is why valuable examples continue to surface even today. A coin that cost 1 cent can suddenly enter the collector world and be discussed, graded, and admired. Once a coin is certified and confirmed to be special, its value is no longer controlled by face value, it is controlled by demand, rarity and condition, and the emotional desire of collectors who want to own a perfect or unusual piece of history. Stories spread fast in the coin community, and the idea that a simple penny could sell for thousands, or in legendary cases, life-changing amounts, keeps collectors searching nonstop. While not every 1999 penny will make someone rich overnight, history proves that extraordinary coins often hide in the most ordinary places. The power of this coin lies in possibility, not guarantees. That possibility is what fuels auctions, late-night searches, and lifelong collections. The Lincoln penny is also a symbol of patience. Many of the most valuable examples were not recognized immediately. They sat quietly while the world moved on. Only later did someone take a closer look, ask the right questions, and realize what they had. That is why experienced collectors always say, never rush, never clean, and never assume. The smallest details can carry the biggest rewards. So before you spend that old 1999 penny without a second thought, remember this: every legendary coin once looked just like pocket change. Fortune does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it waits silently, disguised as copper, resting in your hand, waiting for the right person to recognize its true worth. And that is the real power of the Lincoln penny story. Welcome back, because today's story proves that sometimes the smallest coin carries the biggest surprise. We are diving deep into the mysterious history of the 1997 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that most people have spent without a second thought. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than everyday pocket change, but beneath its copper surface lies a story that has made collectors pause, rethink, and sometimes regret letting one slip through their fingers. The Lincoln penny has always been a symbol of America's past, and by 1997, it had already traveled through generations of hands. This was a time when pennies were still widely used, tossed into jars, forgotten in drawers, and dropped into dusty corners. The no-mint mark version, quietly produced for everyday circulation, blended perfectly into the background of daily life. That invisibility is exactly what allowed special examples of this coin to survive unnoticed for years. What truly draws collectors toward the 1997 penny is not just its date, but its copper character and surface appearance. Some examples display a beautiful red glow, while others settle into a deep red-brown shade that feels warm, rich, and historic. These color tones are not just visual details, they are signs of how the coin lived its life. A penny that avoided harsh cleaning and damage can preserve its natural color, making it far more desirable than one that looks shiny but lifeless. Many people believe that a dirty penny has no value, but the coin world often tells the opposite story. Dirt can act like a protective blanket, shielding the coin's original surface from scratches and chemical damage. Some of the most talked about 1997 pennies were discovered in rough, dirty condition, only to reveal stunning detail and untouched copper once examined carefully. To collectors, originality is everything, and untouched coins often carry more power than polished ones. The shock factor surrounding the 1997 Lincoln penny comes from the idea that common years can still produce uncommon treasures. While millions were made, only a tiny fraction survived in exceptional condition or with unusual characteristics. Coins struck with sharp details, balanced pressure, and clean surfaces stand out dramatically when placed beside ordinary examples. These small differences can turn a 1-cent coin into something that commands serious attention and serious money. Collectors are drawn to stories, and the 1997 penny carries the story of patience. Many of these coins sat unnoticed for decades before anyone realized their potential. A collector might open an old jar, sort through piles of copper, and suddenly find a penny that feels different. It is not louder, heavier, or brighter, it simply has presence. That moment of discovery is what keeps collectors searching year after year. The market value of a coin is not created by metal alone, it is shaped by desire, competition, and belief. When collectors believe a coin represents something special, its value begins to rise. The idea that a simple 1997 penny could be worth far more than its face value fuels endless searching and discussion. While not every example reaches extreme prices, history shows that extraordinary coins often begin their journey as overlooked change. There are stories of collectors who nearly spent these pennies, only to pause at the last moment. That hesitation, taking a closer look, checking the surface, noticing the color, has changed outcomes. Coins that once lived in circulation suddenly entered collections, grading rooms, and auctions. Once recognized, a coin's destiny changes forever, and it is no longer treated as money, but as an artifact. The Lincoln penny also teaches a powerful lesson about restraint. Cleaning, rushing, or selling too quickly has destroyed the value of countless coins. A 1997 penny with original copper color, even if dark or dirty, holds far more potential than one aggressively cleaned. Knowledge and patience are the true tools of fortune in the coin world, not speed or impulse. So before you spend that old 1997 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, remember this: every legendary coin began its life as something ordinary. Fortune doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it whispers through copper, waiting quietly in your pocket, hoping someone will finally notice its story and recognize its true power. Welcome back, because today we are opening one of the most dramatic chapters in Lincoln penny history. This is the story of the 1982 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin born during a moment of major change in American money. To most people, it looks like a normal penny, but to collectors, 1982 is a year that changed everything, and that alone makes this coin powerful, confusing, and dangerous to ignore. The year 1982 sits at a turning point where tradition and modern production collided. Pennies were no longer simple objects, they became experiments in metal, weight, and appearance. During this period, coins were struck in ways that created unexpected variations, and many of those variations quietly slipped into circulation. The no-mint mark pennies blended in perfectly, spending years moving from hand to hand without raising suspicion. What makes the 1982 penny so captivating is its copper character and surface life. Some examples carry a glowing red tone, others settle into a deep red-brown shade that feels rich and historic. These colors are not decoration, they are a record of how the coin aged, where it traveled, and how it was treated. Collectors read these surfaces like fingerprints, searching for originality and untouched character. Many people believe a dirty penny is useless, but experienced collectors know that dirt can be protection. Coins that sat quietly in jars or drawers often avoided the damage caused by cleaning and polishing. A dark or grimy 1982 penny may still hide strong details beneath the surface, and once examined correctly, it can reveal a level of preservation that shocks even seasoned collectors. The true shock of the 1982 penny comes from how easily it can be overlooked. Because so many pennies were produced, people assume none can be special. History proves the opposite. When production changes happen quickly, unusual coins are created unintentionally. Some were struck differently, some survived in exceptional condition, and some carried visual qualities that made them stand apart years later. Collectors are drawn to the 1982 penny because it represents uncertainty. It forces people to slow down, examine weight, color, and strike quality. This is not a coin you judge in seconds. It demands patience and attention, and those who rush often lose value. That tension, between speed and caution, is what makes this coin legendary among penny hunters. Over time, stories began circulating of ordinary people finding unusual 1982 pennies in everyday places. These discoveries fueled obsession, curiosity, and endless searching. The idea that life-changing value could be hiding inside something so small turned this coin into a symbol of possibility. Whether every story is true or exaggerated doesn't matter, the belief itself drives the market. Value in the coin world is not created overnight by magic, it grows through recognition. Once a coin is seen as special, it leaves circulation forever. It becomes something people argue over, protect, and chase. The 1982 penny earned its reputation because it refuses to be simple. It forces questions, invites debate, and rewards those who treat it with respect. The biggest mistake people make with this coin is acting too fast. Cleaning it, selling it cheaply, or dismissing it without understanding its background has cost people dearly. Coins like this demand restraint. Sometimes the smartest move is doing nothing, just holding, learning, and waiting for the right moment. So before you spend that 1982 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, remember this: history doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides in copper, worn by time, waiting quietly for someone patient enough to see its true nature. Fortune doesn't always arrive as gold or silver, sometimes it arrives as a single cent, carrying the power to change everything.